Alright guys, I think this is a guide a lot of you have been waiting for, which is how to beat Illusory Tower Floor 4 without using Team Gojo. And the solution is obviously going to be a Mahito store strategy. Now, first of all, this is store strategy, so it's going to take you a long time. It's 39 turns for me. And then the second thing is that there's actually quite a bit of RNG at the start with the enemy targeting as well. So be warned that you may, not only this is going to take long, you may have to actually reset a few times as well in the early stages to make sure you get the run you want. So if you do actually have Team Gojo, please do check out the video I created for using Team Gojo. It's going to be a lot more straightforward, and you kind of just burst the enemy down. Now, some people did post in the comment section saying that 8-0, no dupe, 0 dupe, Gojo is not able to do it. That's not actually true, because I have seen some message from Discord saying people have adapted my strategy with a 0 dupe Gojo and were able to do it anyway. And basically, the main thing is that in my video, because I have a 2 dupe Gojo, I was able to kill one shot the enemy. If your Gojo is 0 dupe, you won't be able to one shot him, but that's absolutely fine, because what's going to happen is that yes, this enemy is very annoying when he actually uses his special attack, because he will then stun you. But the trick here is that your Gojo also have this attack, his skill 2, which applied attack nullification, and basically you can use this. First of all, it lasts for 3 turns, and also you can use this again after 5 turns. And just so happens the enemy's skill rotation in order to release his special attack is for 5 turns as well. So basically, the trick is kind of just you apply attack nullification right before the enemy is about to use his special attack, and this way you don't actually get stunned for those 2 extra turns, and you kind of just cycles through your skills. I'm not sure exactly what is going to be the skill rotation, but basically I think the idea is that you want to definitely use this once, and then some kind of combination of skill 1 and also skill 2. Basically skill 1 is needed so that you can actually charge up your ultimate gauge, and once your ultimate gauge is full, then you release your ultimate, and then once again before the enemy is about to use his next special attack, you apply attack nullification as well. So every 5 turns you're actually going to be immune to damage for 3 of them, and you can kind of just slowly wear down the enemy that way. So that's basically the trick if you do have a 0 dupe Gojo. So it's definitely doable. And like I said, if you do have Team Gojo, please use that guide. I personally think it's going to be a lot easier than this one, which can be pretty tedious and annoying to actually execute. Okay. Now let's go back to the main topic, which is actually how does this store strategy work. Basically, this is just a replicate of floor 45, other than the fact that the color has changed from green to yellow. Now, obviously, floor 45, the enemy was weak against green, which makes it somewhat easier because Mahito himself is green. And because the enemy gets significantly stronger after 40 turns, what happens is I think you can only use your domain expansion 5 or 6 times in this battle, so you won't actually be able to kill the enemy off purely from the fixed damage from your domain expansion, and therefore you have to somehow make up the difference. And when the enemy is actually weak against green, like on floor 45, Mahito can actually do a decent amount of damage, and that's how you are able to actually go through that. However, for this stage, it's going to be different. Enemy is weak against yellow, so any chip damage from Mahito is going to be like non-existent. So obviously, what you want to do is bring an actual yellow DPS to make up for that remainder of damage, and that is why you see me playing Nobara here. And basically, the role of Nobara is very similar to the role with how you would play, blue Gojo or green Gojo on floor 45. It basically serves 2 purposes. One is you want to wipe out the 2 mob enemy, and Nobara is able to do this because her skill sweep can be turned into an AoE attack on anyone with a nail stack. And basically what you want to do is just you use skill 1 on 2 different enemy, and then you ult on turn 3 with the ultimate attack on the 3rd enemy. And this way you'll be able to hit all of them, and that should be able to, in conjunction with the ultimate attack from Mahito, should then be able to wipe out the 2 mob enemy. And that's kind of the first criteria you need to do. Now, depending on how many dupes your Nobara is, you may need to level up your skill a bit more. So my one, for example, is at 4 dupe. However, my ultimate skill is only level 8, and I was able to do it no problem. Rough rule of thumb to me is that 1 level equals 1 dupe. So let's say if your Nobara is only 3 dupe, then your ultimate needs to be level 9. And if your Nobara is only 1 dupe or 2 dupe, then you have to be maxed out. Because remember, like, um, from dupe 1 to dupe 2, the only difference is that you curse energy. You don't actually get any damage increase. So that's kind of why I think like my one's level 8, but dupe 4. So for dupe 2, you kind of need level 10 ult. But that's also the case for level 1 as well, because there's no difference in terms of damage output between a dupe 1 and dupe 2 Nobara. So that's basically going to be what I think is going to be the requirement. But just have a go and see whether you're actually able to kill off the 2 mobs at the start. Basically, you want to hopefully kill them all by turn 3 when you do a combo attack amongst all of your characters. So that's kind of the main idea. But then afterwards, that is not actually going to be enough. You actually need Nobara to stay alive long enough to do her ult again for the second time around. And that's what I meant by there's actually a bit of RNG at the start. Because you kind of need Nobara to die eventually so that your Shoko can come in. But you don't want Nobara to die too early before you can get your second ultimate attack off. So that's basically the RNG part. There's a few things where you can help to make that happen. One is, as you can see, I basically have this healing reflection on Toge, and that's just to make sure my Toge stay alive long enough before Shoko can come in, because obviously Toge actually sacrificed his own HP when he tried to do his damage reduction, etc. So that's basically one thing. The other thing you will also see me do is that I would do combo attack between Kaito and Toge, and when they actually combo attack, Toge's side is actually going to recover 20% HP to both Kaito and Toge, and once again, that helps your Kaito and Toge to stay alive a bit longer, and Mahito by himself is already quite bulky, so that's basically how you can keep the 3 of them alive, whilst Nobara won't be healed at all, so eventually she will just die. It's just a matter of when, and you just kind of need to be somewhat lucky with the enemy targeting so that she doesn't die too early, okay? Now, there's going to be one other tip that you also have to do in this battle, which is that on turn 5, I believe, when the enemy is about to use his special attack for the very first time, you actually want to use your skill 3 from Toge to actually stun the enemy. And the reason is, if you don't actually do that, what's going to happen is that you will find out your Mahito would then charge up his ultimate attack on the same turn the enemy is going to use his special attack the second time round. And that is going to be very annoying because you have all of your ultimate already charged up. So normally you want to use a domain expansion and make it go into your cooldown period, etc., before you can charge up your ult again. However, you'll just be stunned, and therefore that wastes you 2 extra valuable turns. So you want to prevent that, which is why you actually want to stun the very first time round when the enemies are about to use his special attack, and this way you can actually get a 2-turn head start on your next domain expansion cooldown. So that's kind of why you have to land that stun on turn 5, and that's also what's going to make sure you can actually beat the enemy under 40 turns. Now, other than that, it's just pretty much a standard Mahito stall strategy once Nobara actually dies and Shoko comes in. And basically, I mean, it's quite hard to actually explain. It's probably easier for you guys to just watch my gameplay to actually see it. But you will find out there's going to be a bit of a pattern. Basically, once again, the enemy uses his special attack every 5 turns. So you kind of think of it in like a block of 5-turn rotation. But actually, it's going to be 2 blocks of 5-turn rotation. Because in one of the blocks, what's going to happen is that you won't actually have enough curse energy on your Toge to use skill 3 for the 3 turns where you're not stunned. So what's going to happen is that you will be using your skill straight away on the very first turn just to make sure you are able to have a bit of buffer. Then on the second turn you won't have enough curse energy, so you can just do whatever. And then on the third turn you will have your curse energy again to use your skill 2. However, for that block of 5 skill over 5-turn rotation, you would only be able to stack 1 skill 2 for Toge ahead of the time before the enemy is about to use his special attack, and that's going to be the time when you want to use mutual trust. So that's going to be one scenario of 5 turns, and then in the second scenario of 5 turns, what's going to happen is that you actually have enough curse energy on Toge, because what you would have done is that you would have done a combo attack between Kaito and Shoko previously, and when those 2 combo attack, what's going to happen is that on Shoko's side, it's going to give 20 curse energy, and that basically gives enough curse energy to Kaito, which Kaito can then actually use his skill 2 or skill 3 twice, allowing Toga actually have enough curse energy to stack his skill 2 3 times in a row. And because when that actually happens, you already have the maximum amount of damage reduction, you then don't actually need to activate mutual trust, which is perfect because mutual trust actually have a cooldown period of 8 turns. So basically, it's just going to be those 2 block of 5 turn rotations, and they literally repeat right after each other alternatively. So you kind of just go along with the turn rotation I just mentioned, depending on whether you have enough curse energy to double stack your skill 2 ahead of enemy special attack. It's going to determine whether you use mutual trust or not. And then after that, it's all pretty straightforward stuff, to be honest.
明太か集中してコンベどうしよっかな行くわよ後ろを任せてくださいほらほらどうしたのやっぱりこっちじゃないとね仕上げ始め行くわよ皆様前に集中をほらほらどうしたのやっぱりこっちじゃないとね下げ下げ今ならいけるね準備万端こっからよ支援下げて外れ下げ領域展開地平円鈍化通例情報参加し逃がしたしっかりしろコンベ始めようか相手してやるあねじれろしっかりしろコンベどうしよう行くわよ動くしっかりしろ射撃どうしようかな行くわよ後ろは任せてくださいこのまま払うわよ今シャッ準備万端こっからよ今シャッ準備万端こっからよ今なら俺でもシャケシャケどうしよっかな準備万端こっからよ支援させて通例情報参加し逃がしたほらほらどうしたのやっぱりこっちじゃないとね私が出てきちゃまずいだろシャケシャケ始めようかほどほどに頑張るかほら直してやる今なら俺でもシャケシャケ今ならいけるねほどほどに頑張るか邪魔はさせない領域展開地平円鈍化全体がいいねほら直してやる今おかな飲みすぎたか今おかな飲みすぎたか今なら俺でもコンベ始めようかま、死にたくはないしね後ろを任せてくださいほら直してやる今なら俺でもコンベ始めようかさーて治療の時間だ支援されてあんまり増やすなよ私の仕事仕方ないねじろおだしっかりしろコンベ始めようかほどほどに頑張るか後ろを任せてくださいおだほら直してやるシャ飲みすぎたかシャ飲みすぎたかしっかりしろシャケシャケ始めようかま、死にたくはないしね後ろを任せてくださいほらほらどうしたの直してやるやっぱりこっちじゃないとね今なら俺でもシャケシャケ始めようかま、死にたくはないしねほらほらどうしたのほら直してやるやっぱりこっちじゃないとね俺でもシャケシャケ今ならいけるねさーて治療の時間だ支援させて領域展開地平円鈍化いいねほら直してやるさーて治療の時間さーて治療の時間集中するなシャケシャケどうしよっかなさーて治療の時間だ後ろを任せてくださいほら直してやるしっかりしろシャケシャケ どうしよっかな。さて、治療の時間だ。ねじれろ。おりゃ、おい、直してやる。今なら俺でも。酒。どうしよっかな。さて、治療の時間だ。ジュエンソジェテ。あんまり増やすなよ。私の仕事。仕方ない。防げ。おりゃ。飲みすぎたか。飲みすぎたか。しっかりしろ。酒。始めようか。死にたくはないしね。皆様前に集中を。防げ。ほら、どうしたの。直してやる。やっぱりこっちじゃない。俺でも。酒。始めようか。死にたくはないしね。ジュエンソジェテ。始めろ。酒。ほら、どうしたの。おい、直してやる。やっぱりこっちじゃないと集中するんだ。鮭、今ならいけるね。ほどほどに頑張るか。後ろを任せてください。ねじれろ。領域展開。地平円鈍化。はい。相手が隙を見せてます。鮭、始めようか。さて、治療の時間です。ねじれろ。相手が隙を見せてます。コム、始めようか。さて、治療の時間だ。防げ。今なら俺でも。鮭、始めようか。さて、治療の時間だ。後ろを任せてください。防げ。ほら、直してやる。今、さて、治療の時間だ。今、さて、治療の時間。今なら俺でも。鮭、始めようか。さて、治療の時間。後ろを任せてください。防げ。ほら、どうしたの。直してやる。やっぱりこっちじゃない。今なら俺でも。鮭、始めようか。さて、治療の時間だ。ジュエンソジェテ。あんまり増やすなよ。私が仕事。仕方ない。防げ。ほら、どうしたの。やっぱりこっちじゃないと集中するんだ。鮭。今ならいけるね。ほどほどに頑張るか。領域展開。地平円鈍化。いいね。